This call is now being recorded.
माझा आवाज येतोय का? Am I audible?
येस सर येतोय.
अरे या मीटिंग मध्ये सोहम भोसले म्हणून कोण आहे? सोहम भोसले.
येस सर.
अरे तू GITच्या आयडी न लॉग इन होत नाही, पर्सनल आयडी न होतोय.
सर ते एरर येतोय त्या आयडीने.
हा मला मॅन्युअली ऍक्सेप्ट करायला लागतंय. तू लॉग आउट करून GITच्या आयडी ने, म्हणजे मला प्रत्येक वेळेला तुला लक्ष देऊन आत घ्यावं लागणार नाही. तू कधीतरी
ओके सर.
पर्सनल आयडी सिलेक्ट केला असेल, जॉईन होताना त्या ठिकाणी आयडी घेता येतो बघ. If I am audible, shall we start with the lecture? आवाज इको होतोय का? हॅलो, आवाज इको होतोय?
यस. नो सर.
Okay.
नो
Thank
सर.
you. Let's continue with next part. तुम्हाला पाठीमाग ब्लॅकबोर्ड वर काय लिहिलेलं आहे रेड कलरचं ते दिसतंय? इज इट विजिबल?
ब्लर आहे.
नो सर.
हा,
नो सर. नो सर.
बरं ठीक आहे. आपल्याला ब्लॅकबोर्ड वर लेक्चर घ्यायला थोडेसे लिमिटेशन्स आहेत. याचा अर्थ आपण पहिल्यांदा आहे ते कंटेंट वापरूया. So today we'll be starting with the discussion on sight distance. Just give me a moment. So today we'll be covering an important derivation in highway engineering. In last time we gone through the details like what are the geometrical standards for highway, what is the width of carriageway, what should be the terrain classification, that is the ground slope, minimum requirements, etc. Today we will be covering one important concept which is called as a sight distance. Okay, so I will be presenting the content so that you will be able to see simultaneously. I thought that I will derive. Let's see how it works out. Okay, now just have a look at. So it must be visible to you now. Is it visible? I'm not able to see it here. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Now there will be through slight difficulty. One screen is presenting and I will not be available on that exactly same screen. So probably you might be able to view blank screen. Now, what we can uh, identify from the meaning of sight distance is in highway engineering, there are different parameters by which you can control over design of highways. One of that parameter is called as a sight distance. So there are different categories of sight distance like which is visible on the screen. Stopping sight distance, intermediate sight distance will be subset of stopping sight distance, then overtaking sight distance and sight distance at intersections or corners. Apart from that, sight distance for headlight, etc., will be the subset parts which are not that much important. We'll be mainly covering through two varieties of sight distance. First is a stopping sight distance. Another will be overtaking sight distance. Okay. So you can check in the diagram. Suppose some car is moving on the road with some speed, say 60 kilometer per hour, and suddenly that driver sees some object. Suppose some person is walking along the road in transverse direction, and if the car driver, continues with that speed, he might get hit the person, pedestrian walking on the road. So the moment that driver sees that there is a next person and he must apply immediately the brake. Okay. So distance required by that car to exactly come to rest, that will be called as a stopping sight distance. Okay. So to find out this stopping sight distance, it is made up of two categories. It is a total of two values. The first, where lag distance is written, we can call that as a perception time. Okay. So total sight distance will be time required to apply the brake and come vehicle to the halt. Barabar? Then it is a total of perception time plus braking time. So perception distance and braking distance total will give us stopping sight distance. We'll call that as a SSD. Okay. Now let us see what is the meaning of a stopping sight distance. How we are going to measure. Now we can check out one case. If you are traveling from say Maruti 800 vehicle, your eye level, driver's eye level will be at say around 1 meter or 1.5 meter, depending on the vehicle. If you are traveling through a truck, your eye level will be more higher. So your field of view will be higher and you will be easily able to identify any risk ahead and you can take the immediate action. So if the driver comes close to the ground, then distance required for judging such an incident will be higher. Now, to measure this side distance, one criteria has been set up such that driver's height is assumed to be 1.2 meter. Okay, I will be asking this question in oral. So, stopping side distance is measured when two conditions are satisfied. When eye level of driver is 1.2 meters and height of object above the road surface will be 0.15 meter. So in our language, when an object of size 15 centimeter is there on the road, then driver whose eye level is at 1.2 meter should be able to see the objects and apply the brakes. So that distance required to see the object, identify the risk and apply the brake and vehicle coming to the rest. That everything will be included in stopping sight distance. So definition, the minimum sight distance available on road so as to stop the vehicle traveling with design speed without colliding with object on road. In simple language, it is the minimum distance required by driver to stop the vehicle when he sees the object such that vehicle stops before hitting that object. That object can be anything. So it might be a dog. Height of dog will be around say 40 centimeter on road. So we assume that height of object should be 15 centimeter. That will be equivalent to some stone block, and driver will be able to say that there is an obstruction and he has to apply the brake. Okay. Now this stopping sight distance is going to depend on variable factors. Many parameters will be there. The first category will be total reaction time of a driver. Again, this parameter is going to change from person to person, from his physical appearance. In morning, some person might be in a sleepy mood, so they will require more time to react. Or in night hours, there might be some difficulty. Suppose someone has taken alcohol, then that reaction time will be increasing. So it depends on person to person. Again, depending on the experience of driver, this change will be shorter. Again, stopping sight distance obviously depends on speed of vehicle. If speed of vehicle is say lower 40 km per hour, it will require shorter distance to come to halt. Whereas if vehicle is traveling with 80 km per hour, we can assume that the distance required to come to rest will be lesser as compared to the previous case. Another will be efficiency of a brake. So you apply the force and within how much time the braking effect will be applied. That is assumed to be 100% for most of the example. If they give braking efficiency say 50%, then we have to reduce coefficient of friction by 50%. So stopping sight distance depends on friction between road and tires. So what we can identify, for concrete road, there will be more friction between the tire and vehicles, tire and road surface. Therefore, coefficient of friction will be slightly higher as compared to coefficient of friction on flexible bituminous pavement. Bituminous pavement will be slightly, what you can, smoother surface. Suppose there is a oil spillage has occurred on the highway road, then in that case, if the vehicle tries to apply brake, the vehicle will simply slip, and for that particular patch, coefficient of friction is reduced. So coefficient of friction, it is the parameter which is ranging between 0 to 100%. In mathematical equations, it is taken between 0 to 1. So 0, that means completely smooth surface. Okay. So coefficient of friction will be 0, which is not possible. Okay, even carom board, which will be having a coefficient of friction, say 0.2, 0.3. Likewise, smooth surface we can say. Whereas coefficient of friction 0.99, maximum case we can say 1. That will be highest coefficient of friction. Two bodies are stuck up to each other, they are not able to move. Coefficient of friction will be 1, 100% coefficient frictional force. So Practical purpose, this value will be assumed. Coefficient of friction is assumed between 0.35 to 0.40 as per the Indian Road Congress recommendation. This value is taken as 0.35 to 0.40. We'll see the parameters with respect to road condition and velocities. We have to remember this. Okay. Then, if stopping side distance is dependent on friction, we must think about efficiency. Let us take the previous case. We can assume that there is some concrete surface. Coefficient of friction is 0.4. Mu, coefficient of friction F or mu is equal to 0.4. And braking efficiency is 50%. In that case, remember this, in that case, coefficient of friction, effective coefficient of friction will be 0.4 into 50%, that will be 0.2. So that way we can reduce effect of coefficient of friction if efficiency of brakes is given. Another thing, stopping side distance depend on gradient. Common sense, if some object is seen and driver has to apply the brake, and if road ahead is climbing up, he will be requiring still smaller distance in moving, in applying the brake, because as motion has stopped, engine has stopped, or we have applied the brake, the vehicle will be resisted by gravitational force component, and that will also play into picture. If the slope is downward, the vehicle will require slightly more distance than standard stopping sight distance as compared to level road. If it is inclined downwards, it will require more distance because vehicle will simply move due to the gravity in downward direction. Hence, it will require more distance. So these are the parameters, 5 parameters by which stopping distance is going to depend. Okay. Now, the first parameter was, what was the first parameter? First parameter, stopping side distance upon total reaction time of driver. Total reaction time of driver. It is a one important theory is being postulated in books, which is called as a PIEV theory. It is visible on the right side of the diagram. PIEV. So P for perception, E for intellection, E for emotion, and V for volition. Okay. So perception, intellection, emotion, and volition are the parameters. Okay. All these parameters, we'll see meaning of these terms. Okay. The reaction time is going to depend on these parameters: perception, intellection, emotion, and volition. So we'll see the meaning. Just let me work around. Okay. Now it is probably visible to you. What we can do is we'll check what actually this PIEV theory stands for. Okay. So I'm going to draw human brain. This is nothing but two hemispheres of the human brain. We can just assume this is human brain, head of a person. Okay. Slightly okay. This is the head of person. It is looking like alien now. Now, this person is able to see some objects on the ground. This is the head of a driver, we can assume. Okay, he is driving with some speed 60 kilometer per hour on the road, and suddenly all standard conditions are met. Height of driver, eye level is 1.2 meter, object's height is 15 centimeter. So this driver is able to see there is some rock on the road, and he must apply brake such that vehicle will not get toppled down, no damages will occur to the vehicle. Okay, so let us take the case. Suppose this will be a driver, he sees the objects. As soon as this driver sees the objects, a signal through these objects will be visible to his brain. I'm not drawing any physical diagram, I'm going to draw a neural diagram in which driver sees the objects with his own eyes. This will be his own eyes. This is the driver. He sees the objects. This is eye. Okay. This is I can say. The driver sees the objects. Okay. So this will be perception. Perception. That means he has to identify that there is some objects. That time required during that moment will be called as a perception time. Okay. So driver identifies there is some objects. There are not many objects on the ground or on the road if you travel along the highway. What are the objects? There will be some dog there who is standing outside the road. There is a person who is standing outside the road. But there is some indicator, some vehicle next to you on the road. That is an object of concern. So we are always percepting the things while we are driving on the road, which is a danger, which is not. So that way, the driver has to identify that next stone visible is a danger. So that time lost during seeing the signal and reaching to the brain, that will be called as a perception. Time required for traveling that signal to the brain. That will be the perception. Next will be intellection. Next is intellection. So intellection, intellection, and emotion. Both are going to happen in brain. Okay. This is the time required to take action, which is called as the last parameter volition, V. Okay, this will be V. This will be P. So P is time required for signal to reach to the brain, and volition. Volition will be time required by sending the signal to the body such that body will be applying the brake. So volition is nothing but action. So it is a action. Action. This will be action. Okay. Now, intellection and emotion. When intellection is there, the brain has to identify that what is the exact meaning of signal. Okay. So intellection, he will identify the meaning of that signal. Now take my case. Take one example. Suppose there is a stone on the road and driver is driving through SUV, okay, or truck or tractor. He might feel that suppose the height of object is 10 centimeters, smaller stone is there. Then he will assume that previously in historical he has traveled on such a road and that stone is not going to create some danger to him. So that way, whatever the signal is sent, that image is feed into the brain. That person identifies what is that object, compares with the previous case history in his brain, and tries to identify whether it is a danger or not. Okay, so that way it will be called as a situation assessment. He has to identify that whether that is a threat or not threat. Suppose some barrier is there whose height is say 15-20 centimeter, the driver will simply assume that he cannot jump with the vehicle. There will be accident. So he will stop because he will compare that barrier with some movies or some horse race he has seen in the previous life, and he will just identify that there will be some accidents going to occur. So that time lost will be called as a intellection, and distance traveled within that period will be again part of perception time. So this will be half portion distance will be perception time. Total P and I both will be included in distance as a perception distance. Okay. Now, when that driver is able to identify the threat, okay, he has to take some action. Now, depending on the driver, his emotions will come into play. Some drivers, if it is a new, he will simply freeze. It might happen. If there is some difficulty, driver is not able to take any action. His body is not able to react because he is filled with emotions. So that kind of emotions, what are the emotions? Either you tackle the situation or either run away from it. This is what happens in the brain. So if he identifies that the threat can be rectified, he will send a signal to the body that he has to apply the brake. So that signal is output of emotion that he has to face the situation. Our driver will simply run away. Run away means from the situation he might freeze. That means whatever the emotions are getting developed into the brain for that very short period of time will be included in the category of emotion. Now what we know is both intellection and emotion will be happening in the human brain. Now as soon as this driver comes to conclusion that there is some stone ahead and he has to apply, his brain will send signal to the body that you have to apply the brake. So brain, as soon as brake needs to be applied, your leg will be pushed against the brake lever and vehicle will start coming to rest. So that time spent during the signal transfer will be called as a volition. Okay, understood? So this whole theory is called as a PIEV theory, which indicates time required by driver for applying the brake from the moment when he sees the objects till he takes the action and vehicle comes to rest. So this total time will be output of your reaction time. Okay. So in other words, this total reaction time is sum of perception time plus brake reaction time. Okay. It is very important thing. Remember this equation. We are going to use it in solving next part. Okay. Now, as per IRC guidelines, this value of total reaction time is taken between 0.5 seconds to 4 seconds. Okay, 0.5 to 4 seconds. So as per the IRC recommendation, average value is taken equal to 2.5 seconds. We will be assuming this reaction time in our examples between 2 to 2.5 seconds. So what is the important point from this concept? The average value of reaction time will be around 2.5 seconds, which is a sum of total of perception time plus break reaction time. Out of this, this perception time, this perception time is sum of a time lost between perception and intellection. This first part. Whereas break reaction time will be time lost between this emotion and volition. Okay, so that will be sum of both the parameters. Now let us see if we are able to solve the equation. Okay, so one derivation is there. Unfortunately, I wanted to write it down on the blackboard, but it is not possible. Now we can solve that distance. We can solve that derivation by using notebook only. Okay. So I will just cover this part in probably this diagram only. Total reaction time is a perception time, sum of perception time plus break reaction time. This is our main equation. Now we need to find out this total reaction time. Okay. Okay. So reaction time will be breaking distance where brakes will be applied. This will be braking distance. This will be dB, braking distance, and perception time we find out. Okay, to find out braking distance, what we can use is one mathematical equation. Let us assume you have seen the object, you are a driver, you have seen the object, and your vehicle is moving with some velocity. Your vehicle is having some self weight. Vehicle is having self weight W. That is weight of vehicle. This will be weight of vehicle. Then coefficient of friction will be road, on road. Coefficient of friction will be F. Okay. Then braking distance will be dB. Vehicle is traveling with some velocity. Let us assume this velocity as a small v. This is a small v. So in transportation engineering, important point. In transportation engineering, we will be coming across velocities in two units. That is meters per second and kilometer per hour. So we will be using one sign convention. Whenever small v is there, the velocity is in meters per second. Whenever capital V is there, velocity is in kilometer per hour. Okay, hope you remember it. Then we'll assume coefficient gravitational constant at g equal to 9.81. That we already know. 9.81. Now, when you are applying a brake, applied mechanics, those who have attended, you can just go back to your theory part and say, when you are applying a brake, the vehicle will come to rest in a distance of dB. So that means force will be acting on some distance, and we can assume that some work has been done. So what we know is we got one equation for work done against friction. So I will write down that equation. Work done against friction. then against friction. Okay. Equal to kinetic energy of vehicle, moving vehicle. So work done will be joule and energy will be joule. We are equating both parameters equal to each other, and we have to find out a parameter which is braking distance between braking, dB. We have to find out this parameter. We will find out this parameter. So let us put on whatever we know. So that will be coefficient of friction. Work done is formula. Work done the formula. Work done the formula. Force into distance. So force will be frictional force and distance will be dB. So this work done is nothing but frictional force into distance. This is the formula for work done. Okay. So we'll use the same formula. I'll write down this same value is there, kinetic energy of vehicle. So work done is frictional force of formula mu into R. Frictional force is mu. I'm going to write down U because there is no letter right now. Mu into R. So mu into R into distance will be d. Okay. D suffix d is there, so that will be d suffix d. Distance db. That should be equal to kinetic energy 1/2 mv square. Same formula we know. 1/2 into m into v, small v into square, mv square. Okay. So I will be putting this to mv square. This is the formula for kinetic energy. So mu is represented as a letter in transportation engineering as F. I'm going to rewrite this equation again. That will be, I will do it here only. Coefficient of friction is F into, okay, I will F, mu is represented by coefficient of friction F. Then R is anybody? Mu R, coefficient of friction. R is nothing but normal reaction. For any vehicle, this normal reaction is equal to self weight of vehicle. So this R is nothing but W of weight of vehicle, which we have seen. That is W is weight. Okay, small or capital doesn't make any difference. Into same distance. That will be D suffix B. Oh, sorry. That will be F into W into dB, distance. So that will be dB. This will be dB. Coefficient, frictional force. Same formula on right side. We'll revise it. Again, this equals to 1/2 mass. Instead of mass, I will rewrite this equation. I will rewrite this equation as a mass is nothing but W by G, because weight is equal to W is equal to M into G. Therefore, M is equal to W by G. So this value will be W by G. This will be W by G. I will write down both these values. 1 into 1 by 2 at down I will write W by G into same value V square. So just a moment, this value divided by we are equating to this what W dB. So that will be 1 by 2, 1 by 2. M is nothing but here 1 by 2 I have written. Then M is nothing but W by G. This will be W by G, and as always V square will be same. Okay. So here W is on both the sides. What I can do is I will cancel out this W is cancelled out from both the sides. It will cancel to each other, and I will equate this equation to dB, distance of breaking. Distance of breaking dB equal to, so dB equal to 1/2. It will be 1 by 2 will be coming down, V square by 2 GF. That will be our equation. This final equation will be transferred to V square by 2GF. So that will be 2GF. So this is our equation derivation for distance required during breaking. Okay, breaking distance, and we need to find out distance during the perception time. That will be called as a lag distance. So what happens? Perception time, if you remember, what is the meaning of perception time? When the object is there, driver sees the objects, he compares that object's memory with the previous history, and then emotions will be coming into his brains. So that time lost will be perception time. Within whole this operation, vehicle is traveling with velocity of V, and that perception time will be equivalent to your reaction time. Understand? So vehicle will be traveling with the velocity of V for time of t. So distance, this is one equation we have got. I will be writing here only. Next will be the lag distance, break distance plus lag distance, that is the distance covered during this perception time. So lag, or let's make it clear, perception lag distance equal to, just now I told you, it is the time required during initial phase where objects is seen by the driver and he comes to decision. Emotion will be coming into his mind. During that time, vehicle will be traveling with the velocity V, and time required for such a activity within his brain and object seen is a reaction time, which is a t. So that distance covered will be velocity into time. Okay, here t is equal to reaction time. As per IRC guideline, this value is assumed between, assumed to be 2.5 seconds, and the range of this value is between 0.5 to 4 seconds. But assume, we are going to assume most of the time t equal to 2.5 seconds. So this total equation we are going to write down again. So this total equation Okay, I'll rewrite as a stopping side distance. Stopping side distance, it is a sum of braking distance plus perception lag distance. So I'll make the equation. Stopping side distance, that is equal to braking distance. Perception lag distance. Plus braking distance. Braking distance. Okay. So this whole equation will be nothing but same about stopping side distance SSD equal to, I'll write down above the line, V square by 2GF. First is a perception line distance. Here it is a V into T. This will be V into T. Vt plus V square by 2GF. V square. So this will be square. V square by 2GF. V square by 2GF. This Vt is a separate parameter. So just for the sake of clarity, Vt plus V square by 2GF. This will be the main equation for SSD. I want you to write down this equation at least. So this way, it is the most important equation of today's lecture, which is our stopping side distance is equal to Vt plus V square by 2GF. I want you to write this equation. Remember this equation. Is it visible or is it going to the corner? I'll just change the layout slightly. I thought it is going to the corner. So it is nothing but SSD equal to, here SSD is equal to V into T plus V square by 2GF. That way we will be able to derive stopping site distance, and we are supposed to solve some examples based on that. Okay, so stopping site distance, if you have written the equation, it depends on parameters. It is stopping site distance depends on speed of vehicle. If velocity is higher, that is velocity into T, first equation, part of the equation, or anywhere it is V. If it is V is higher, stopping site distance will be higher. Then braking efficiency, we have assumed that braking efficiency is 100% in the equation. If it is given as 50%, coefficient of friction will be reduced by 50%. So that way, coefficient of friction, if it is going to be higher, because it is divided by F in the equation. So if it is going to be higher, this distance will be reduced. So coefficient, stopping side distance will be smaller if a coefficient of friction is high. That is a common sense which is visible in the equation. Then it also affects due to the gradient. Suppose gradient is where it is, I cannot see the diagram. Okay. Here it is. If it is a gradient, then we need to derive these equations. We'll see the equations only. On upward slope, the effect of gradient will be in our side, distance required will be smaller. In downward slope, this SSD will be higher. So that's why this equation Vt plus V square by 2 Gf, F is taken into bracket, plus or minus the gradient's value is being utilized. We'll see this equation in next lecture. Time being, I want you to put down your attendance in the same format that we have discussed. Now, while you are writing the attendance, we'll see the different type of side distances. Another parameter is the overtaking side distance. Again, some derivation is there. I will try to cover this derivation, or we can just go with the equation. For that, we can see stopping side distance, eye level of driver will be 1.2 meter, height of object will be 15 centimeter, and straight line distance measure. Same distance with a different scenario. If it is a curve, then for such a kind of a valley curve, the object visible will be closer. So this distance will be, visibility distance will be reduced. Okay. Then in case of a corner, again, if some building is close to the corner, the driver will not be able to see the next vehicle. Therefore, more distance has to be provided along the curve. Take this case, whenever there is a curve, the driver, you can check out in the bottom diagram, their visibility is reduced. Therefore, you need to provide a curve of radius such that driver is able to see the next vehicle coming, and he should get some sufficient time to apply the brake if someone is already traveling on his lane. Okay. Suppose we are talking about valley and summit curve. It is visible on these photographs. If some vehicle next to you is traveling on summit curve, it will get reduced. It will get simply vanished from your eyesight because of the effect of summit curve. So in that case, you need to provide check side distances in these vertical curves also. We'll first cover in our syllabus horizontal curve, then vertical curve. Then headlight side distance, it is a minor point. In case of a night driving, the distance visible till the end to the driver such that he can see the object and apply the brake. So it depends on characteristics of vehicle. Side distance at an under crossing, okay, below the bridge, its visibility will be slightly getting reduced. So side distance will be required more. Then at a horizontal curve, previously we have seen when traveling, driver is traveling, his line of sight will be getting obstructed by the both side of the curves if some objects are there. So the curve should have higher radius. Now this is the illusion. One peculiar case, if you are traveling, top diagram, if you are traveling in say night time, the driver is able to see that the road is here and long time the road is here. So he will simply travel with the same speed to the next line. And suddenly, when he reaches to at this point, he is able to identify that there is a road not reaching to the next straight line portion, but he has to take a deviation. So that way, he has to take sudden jerk. So this will be illusion, and such a thing should be avoided in practical. Okay. We'll see rest of the part overtaking side distance derivation in next lecture. So after this derivation, both of these derivation, will be solving some examples related to this overtaking side distance. Okay. For time being, I think we can solve one example. I don't know how you are able to solve this example. Can you give me input? How rest of the faculty have been continuing with the examples? Are you solving at your place along with me, or you are simply watching? When examples are being covered, like our previous lecture, are you solving with me, or you are simply watching? Yes? There are 50 people in the classroom. You can chat by instead. Are you solving with me, or you are watching? I guess nobody is solving. Nobody is solving, is it?
सॉल्व करते हैं.
Yes? ऐकू आलं नाही मला? Does anybody solve with me? How we can proceed for the next lecture? Because for this transportation, lot many examples need to be solved. How we are going to proceed to the next lecture? Are you going to solve with me? Okay. Okay.
Sir, will solve.
Okay, okay. Omkar is saying you are going to solve with me. I assume that you are going to do the same thing. Next lecture onwards, I can just put the question on the slide, and probably I will try to solve it on the notebook because Blackboard is not visible. Okay. So that way we can continue with next lecture. Thank you very much for your presence. You can take exit now.
तो सर
बोला.
मागासपासून देव सर झाली नाही, आता झालेलं ना सर.
मला नाही ऐकू आलं. आवाज येत नाहीये तुझा.
हा सर. सर नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लेम आहे ना, त्यामुळे अटेंडन्स आता सेंड झाली सर माझ्याकडून. चालेल ना?
हो चालेल चालेल चालेल, काही प्रॉब्लेम. कोण हुलजुते आहे का?
नाही सर, सूरज सुर्वे.
अच्छा, ठीक आहे ठीक आहे ठीक आहे, चालेल. सूरज सुर्वे. हा, लिहिले अटेंडन्स दिलायस नव्हे?
हो सर, आता दिलाय, मागासपासून देत होतो.
ओके, आय कॅन मॅनेज दॅट. ठीक आहे, थँक्यू.
ओके ओके सर, थँक्यू सर.